A transfer of rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down.
The Lord promised better things for us, okay? Because the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, has a favorite people. And he's going to give this favorite people a heavenly kingdom. A kingdom that's blueprinted and formatted and patterned after his mind. How he want a kingdom to be.
There's data on this too. Lifeway Research has a thing called the Philos Project, where Hebrew Israelism is growing by conversion rates. So they're actually persuading people. They are absolutely persuading people. Hebrew Israelism is growing by conversion rates. So they're actually persuading people. They are absolutely persuading people. There's data on this too. Lifeway Research has a thing called the Philos Project, where they specifically asked this question. And then a couple years later, the Manhattan Institute. So one's a Christian organization, but this is for research. And the other one's like a conservative think tank. And both of them did numbers on this. And one had 4% of Black Americans. The other had 6%. And they also included others. So it's not just Black Americans, by the way. 4 to 6%. First of all, that's growth of 2% within a small span. If those numbers are right, they're within the margin of error. Long story short, you've got almost 4 million people who believe these ideas.
Do you think that this is more like how veganism was super popular a couple years ago, and then most folks kind of fall out because it's just like, yo, this is ridiculous. Like literal Sabbath keeping. I gotta wear my little drapes, or what are they called?
Fringes.
The fringes. Do you think this is something that people go through for a window of time, the same way we saw a lot of folks go vegan, and then 95% of people who go vegan don't remain vegan?
For some, and every bad idea has a limited shelf life. Hebrew Israelism is growing by conversion.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakafadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to our younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures to faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, and just want to respond to this quick video I seen on TikTok. All right, my brother, the beloved brother, I'm the one Abad, sent it, via TikTok. And just wanted to respond to this guy vocab. And as you can see, he's obsessed. He's still obsessed. With the Hebrew Israelites. The true children of Israel being awakened. Coming back to who they are. Okay. Now, as long as our people have been destroying each other, okay, killing each other on drugs, okay, broken families, okay, terrible health. There was no one making a push, all right, to get Jake back on track, but as we call ourselves Israelites, now the whole world is reacting. You see, and Jake has become a full degenerate, like I say, Jake has become self-destructive to themselves. The world didn't react, okay, and try to intervene and disrupt Jake from destroying themselves. They people were at ease as long as Jake is in self-destruct mode. Okay. But when Jake, stops acting like a damn buffoon, okay, or shucking jiving for massa, now it's a problem. You see, as we're woken up to who we are and we're standing on our feet, now, all right, the earth is bothered. Okay? But this guy here, Vocab, he had to run, to where he will come harass the camps. And eventually he just fizzled out. And everything that he did to try to disrupt the truth, it only furthered the truth. Okay? He was going to camp, getting cut. Edification was coming out. Christianity look weaker than ever. You know, so everything worked in our favor, just as the scriptures say. You know, so let's get a few precepts. It's 2 Corinthians 13:8. It said, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Okay? So nothing can be done against the truth. You see, this is not of us. And see, people look at us, you know, and they look at us as just niggas with Bibles. Okay? They don't take us serious, man, which they don't have to take us serious, man, because as they're sitting up there on this panel trying to figure out, you know, the growth of the Hebrew Israelites, prophecies is happening in real time. Okay? Prophecies finna kick their teeth down their throat. You see, you got this war that's looming. You got Esau building a digital prison around your ass as we speak. Data center after data center, camera after camera. All right. All this military technology that, okay, that's being pushed out there. You see, famine, all these civil unrest. Okay, this devil finna come down like a dragon, you know, because he's desperate to get this thing up and going. So he gonna have to get real, you know, physical in America. Okay, he gonna have to get real aggressive in America, man, and really move the needle on this new world order. So while they're sitting up there trying to make light, you know, of the true Israelites awakening to who they are, well, they're just one piece of prophecy that's coming to pass. You see, and Christians are so out of tune with the Bible, okay, that nothing in the Bible, all right, they make these arguments that have nothing to do with the Bible. Okay, because if you into the Bible, you should be into prophecy right now. Okay, well, that's another note. But the thing is, there's nothing they can do to stop this truth from growing. The Lord's people, all right, this is the Lord's will for his people to wake up. Okay, see, in their mind, they just think that this is another Black Panther movement. You know, they think this is something like Black Lives Matter. They think that this is, you know, something of this world. Nah, man, this is the will of the Lord. Okay, and they don't have to take it serious, man, because prophecy, all right, everybody finna have to deal with prophecy, man. You don't have to take the prophets seriously. Okay, but the prophecies that the prophets are going into, everybody gonna have to take this serious, man. Okay, because it's gonna have a major effect very soon, man. Okay, so it said we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth, man. So everything is working in our favor, you know, and Christianity is gone. Christianity are getting cut by atheists. Atheists got Christians looking dumb as hell. These are atheists. Atheists know the Bible better than Christians. Okay? Atheists know the Bible better than Christians, man. Okay? And it takes the Hebrew Israelites to defend the Bible against atheists, because Christians don't have no answer, because they don't know the Bible. They don't care about the Bible. Okay? The Bible is not important in Christianity, man. You see? Defending the so-called white man is the only thing that really matters in Christianity, man. Okay? So when you go from there, let's get this in Romans, and everything is working in our favor. Because while they talking, prophecy is popping, baby. We back, we up. You see? Give a damn what they talking about. They try to see, they worried about numbers and conversions and this and 2% growth. Look, man, we back, man. Okay, the sons of God is back, man. That's it. when we get through talking, when you podcast, you know, we back and we up according to prophecies in the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. This is Romans 8 and 28. It says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are called according to his purpose, man. So everything working for our favor. Okay? Even them talking, that's work, mockers and scoffers shall come in the last days. This is everything working in our favor. So even people scoffing, they're just prophecy being fulfilled. You see? When you in tune with the prophecy, you just look at everything as prophecy being fulfilled. There's supposed to be a vocab and people like this nigga and people like him on the podcast. Okay? Them niggas supposed to be there. Okay? And see, these people are hoping that the prophecies of the Bible don't come to pass. That's their hope. You know, because if they're wanting the true Israelites to fall back, okay, they want the true Israelites, you know, to be disbanded, all right, disbanded, okay, and just fall and dissolve away. They want prophecy to stop, okay? And most Christians, all Christians hate prophecy, okay? These Christians hate prophecy. You got a few of them that try to go into prophecy, few old, you know, Edomite, you know, nigga from the 80s, you know, he might go into the prophecy, man, a little bit, okay? And they getting that from us, okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, man, you know, because that's where we get it from. So when you, let's go here to the book of Acts, all right? This is Acts 5. It's Acts 5 and 38. It says, and now I say unto you, refrain from this men. All right. And this was I can't think of his name, Gamaliel. You know, yeah. Gamaliel. You see? When they was they had the apostles hemmed up, you know, Peter, okay, and a few other apostles, they had them hemmed up, you know, and Gamaliel stepped up and like, look, be mindful how y'all handle these men. Okay, so when he get down to verse 38, and it says, and now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. Least ye happily, all right, least happily you be found even to fight against the Most High. Okay, so if this was a man, okay, it will come to naught. And see, their hope is that this coming to naught. Nah, man, this is getting stronger. What we're saying is happening. Okay, you still trying to figure out how, you know, the percentage of growth and, you know, what's, you know, you still surface level. The prophecy is finna kick your teeth down your throat. Okay? Nah, man, this ain't coming to naught. This the will of the Lord. This ain't of man. Okay? So they don't understand. They're fighting against the will of the Lord if they're waiting on the prophets to just fade away. You know, that's not the will of the Lord, man. You see, the scriptures say, matter of fact, all right, let's get this in Proverbs. It's in Proverbs chapter 4. Let's get this. Proverbs 4 and 18, it said, but the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more until the perfect day. Okay, they're shining more and more until the perfect day, man. You know? So this truth is speaking out louder, man. Prophecy is speaking louder. Okay? Because we dealing with the prophecies, man. Okay? And it's getting to the point where the prophecies are speaking for us. Okay? And it's going to be to the point you ain't going to be able to have a podcast. Okay? You finna have to deal with this civil unrest in America, man. Okay? You finna have to deal with the civil war in America, man. You finna have to deal with the economy collapsing, EMP. See, you people finna have a lot to be occupied with, man. Okay? So the prophecies are speaking louder and louder, man. Okay? The prophet's gonna silence the crowd, man. All right? And there's nothing that you can do with the true prophets of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. You know? Because this is the Lord's will. Okay? So all you can do is fight against, all you're doing is fighting against the Most High. And we're going to see how that's going to turn out for you, man. Jeremiah 15 and 20, it says, and I will make thee unto this people a fence, brazen wall, and they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee, for I am with thee to save thee and to deliver thee, said the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. You know, so the Lord has his prophets like a fence, brazen wall. Okay? Everything that they've done, nothing has penetrated. The truth has only came stronger. We're like juggernauts in the spirit, man. Okay? The spirit only gets stronger and it's starting to overwhelm everything, man. Okay? Esau is scrambling. You see? See, people, you know, because they just casually on there talking because they don't know what's going on with nothing. You see, the elites, they see what's going on because they tapped in on the left hand side in the spirit, so they know, okay, that this is a problem. Okay, but these Joe Six-Pack Edomites, they just, missile food. Okay, they don't know what's going on. Okay, they're not serious minded enough to even know what's going on any level. Because anyone that's serious minded, is like, wait a minute, these men are on to something. Even, these podcasters that's going to the alternative news, but you just got these, little Caesar eating Christians. They don't know what's going on, man. That's why they just kicked up, okay, with them quarter zip, jack, sweaters, fleece, them quarter zip fleece Christians, man. You see, but there's nothing wrong with the quarter zip, just them quarter zip fleece Christians. Okay, they don't know what's going on, man. Okay, and they'll say prophecy is gonna kick them niggas' teeth down their throat. Coming soon. You see, so they worried about the percentage of growth. All right, you gonna have a lot of other things to worry about than how many of Israelites is waking up, and you can't put a number on it. Esau always trying. That's that Edomite spirit, always trying to quantify and put the spirit in the box, man. Okay, but this whole system is failing, man. From the elites on down, all right, to you. You say you little Caesar, breadsticks and crazy dipping sauce eating Christians. You don't know what's going on. You finna lose, man. All right, verse 21 it says, "And I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked, and I will redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible," man. So the Lord knew that we would be a target, okay, for speaking His word. He set it up this way, because just like He baited Pharaoh to come after, us, at the Gulf of Suez. Well, He baiting up Esau to make his move in this time, man. Because all these people want to see the prophets done away with. This is on their mind. The fact that they're trying to break it down to the numbers, this is on their mind. And they want to see the prophets done away with, man. Okay? But nah, man, the Lord gonna protect us, man. Even when they try to get physical and carnal, man, there's gonna be a standard lifted, man. And it ain't gonna go like they think. Okay? They're gonna be, a few martyrs for the sake of prophecy, man. But that ain't how this ends for all the believers, man. Okay? So Lord will, you brothers and you sisters edified to the next time I say Shalom. Kwam Yashala, Abba, soon Shalom.